You faked care so well. I almost forgot how to trust my own heartbeat. Anger and love tangled inside me. Your lies were the cruelest knot. I hated how your silence shouted louder than your hollow words. You wore your fakeness like armor, and I bled beneath your cold shield. Your fake touch left scars that no time could ever erase. I saw through your mask. It cracked, revealing a broken soul like mine. The annoyance was a whisper. You never truly belonged to me. You faked devotion while I built a castle on Sing Sing. Your lies tasted sweeter than the truth I was starting for. I hated the way you made my heart doubt its own rhythm. Your fake love was a shadow that stole the light from my days. I resented your ease in discarding me like yesterday's forgotten dream. You faked tenderness, but your eyes screamed of distant lies. The coldness behind your smile was a wound I carried silently. I hated the weight of your empty promises crushing my fragile. You played with my love like a flame, and I burned silently. Your deception was a storm I never saw coming, only felt breaking me. I watched you pretend, while my soul quietly unraveled in the dark. You faked the parts I needed most, and left me hollow inside. The annoyance wasn't your lies. It was my heart's stubborn refusal to wake. Your false warmth was the frost that froze my fading dreams. I hated the distance your lies carved between us, invisible but cruel. You smiled while breaking me, the cruelest beauty I ever witnessed. Your fakeness was a song my broken heart never wanted to hear. I felt betrayed by the silence you wrapped around us both. You faked affection like a ghost, leaving me chasing shadows. The anger inside me burned quietly, a fire you never saw. I hated how your lies echoed louder than our whispered love. You faked the soul I thought I touched, and left me reaching. Your mask slipped, revealing the hollow space I feared. The most, I watched your deception unfold like a slow, merciless unraveling. You faked commitment while my heart shattered in silent pieces. The annoyance was the echo of every truth you refused to face. You wore lies like perfume, beautiful but choking the air around us. I hated how easily you destroyed the fragile threads binding us. Your fake love was the poison that seeped through my veins. I saw you pretend, and my heart cracked quietly in two. The anger wasn't for you. It was for the love I lost believing. You faked trust, and I became a stranger in my own story. Your lies were the shadows that stole my quiet light. I hated the way your false words burned deeper than silence. You smiled while breaking me, and I learned to hide my stuff. Your fake love was a wound I carried in the stillness. I watched your fakeness like a slow, unending night. The annoyance was the voice of my soul refusing to forget. You faked passion, while I drowned in oceans of your absence. I hated the cold space your lies left inside my heart. Your mask hid the emptiness that swallowed our fragile dreams. I saw you fake, and my soul whispered a goodbye it never said. You faked love, and I learned to love ghosts instead. The anger inside me was the silent prayer of a broken heart. You pretended, and I became a ghost haunting memories of truth. Your lies whispered secrets my soul refused to forget. I hated the way your fake love stole my quiet faith. You faked devotion, while I fell into the void of your absence. I watched your lies bloom like dark flowers in my chest. Your fake touch was the shadow stealing warmth from my days. I hated the ease with which you discarded what we were. You faked care, while I screamed inside with silent rage. Your false love was a wound I carried in secret pain. I saw you pretend, and my heart bled invisible tears. The annoyance was the echo of every truth you never faced. Smiled with lies, and my soul cracked under their weight. I hated how your fakeness turned love into a battlefield. You faked passion. I burned in the ashes of your deception. I watched your fake love unravel my quiet hope. Your lies were the cold breath on my neck at midnight. I hated the hollow sound of your promises breaking in silence. You faked loyalty, and I felt the cold betrayal in my bones. The annoyance was a spark igniting the fire of my soul's refusal. You wore lies like jewels, beautiful but deadly to my heart. I saw through your mask, and it shattered my silent prayers. Your fake smile was the cruelest echo in my empty world. I hated the distance your lies carved between us, unseen but real. You faked love while I drowned in oceans of silent sorrow. The anger I felt was a prayer unanswered in the dark. You pretended, and I became a stranger to my own heart. Your lies were shadows, stealing the light from my days. Words burned deeper than silence. You smiled while breaking me, teaching me to hide my scars. My dear, anger cracked my calm when I saw you pretending like I never mattered. You smiled, but my heart twisted into sharp, silent curses. Seeing you fake broke the fragile trust I'd stitched in secret. I hated how easily your lies slipped from your lips. Like poison in a kiss, your false words hit me deeper than any truth could. I burned with silent fury, watching your mask dance so convincingly. You faked love, and my soul recoiled in the cold shadows. Anger whispered, "How could you betray what was never yours to break?" Your fake smile mocked the scars I hid beneath my skin. I saw you, and rage became the only language I could speak. You faked care, while I drowned in oceans you pretended not to see. Each fake word was a dagger I swallowed in silence. I hated that part of you I once loved, now just a cruel echo. You wore lies like a second skin. I saw through, and it shattered me. I watched you pretend and felt my own heart bleed in the dark. Your fakeness is the silence that screams louder than any goodbye. I resented the ease with which you discarded what I treasured. You faked warmth. I froze in the cold truth you hid. The annoyance wasn't your act. It was how deeply I hated your eyes that never met mine. Empty windows filled with deceit. Seeing you fake was like watching a ghost steal my breath away. Your lies were the cruel lullabies I never wanted to learn. I felt the sting of your fake love like winter's harshest frost. You pretended, and my soul screamed into a void that swallowed me whole. The mask you wore angered me more than your absence ever could. I hated the betrayal in your touch disguised as tenderness. You faked more than love. You faked the soul connection I begged for. I watched your lies bloom like poisonous flowers in my chest. Your act was a wound carved into my silent prayers. I hated how easily you fooled the world while breaking me inside. You faked promises like they were meaningless feathers drifting away. The anger I felt wasn't for you. It was for my own blindness. I saw the truth behind your facade, and it scorched my skin. You faked love, but I loved the ghost you never truly were. My heart broke quietly while you laughed behind your carefully painted mask. You fooled everyone, but I saw the emptiness bleeding through your smile. I hated the calm you kept while destroying what we built. You faked loyalty. I felt the cold betrayal like a winter's breath. The annoyance was a spark, igniting a fire of all I refused to see. I watched your false affection like a shadow stealing the light. You faked the connection, and I drowned in the silence that followed. Your lies echoed louder than the love you pretended to give. I hated that your fakeness felt like my own quiet undoing. You smiled with lies, and my soul cracked under their weight. I saw you faking love, and my own heart turned to stone. Your act was a slow poison, seeping into every part of me. I hated that you made the truth seem like a stranger. You faked passion. I burned in the ashes of your deception. I watched your fake love unravel the threads of my quiet hope. The anger I felt was a prayer unanswered in the dark. You faked more than words. You faked a life I thought was ours. I hated the hollow sound of your promises breaking in silence. You wore lies like jewelry, beautiful but deadly to my soul. The annoyance was a storm raging inside, unseen but unrelenting. I saw you fake care and felt the cold void it left behind. Your fakeness was a cruel lullaby sung to my trusting heart. I hated that your lies became the only truth I knew. You smiled while breaking me, an act so cruel, so divine in its pain. I watched your mask slip, revealing the emptiness I feared all along. Your fake love was a wound I carried in. Silence. I hated the way you fooled me with shadows dressed as light. You pretended, and my soul shattered in the silence you left. Your lies were the cold breath on my neck at midnight. I saw you fake, and a quiet rage ignited my broken heart. You wore your deception like a crown, and I bowed to the pain. I hated the effortless way you destroyed what I built with tears. Your fake words were the chains that bound my silent sorrow. I watched your fakeness like a slow-burning fire, consuming trust. You faked love, while my heart whispered the truth in agony. The annoyance was the voice of a soul refusing to forget. I hated the empty space you left disguised as presence. You smiled with lies, and I learned how to carry silent wounds. I saw your fake promises and felt my hope quietly die. Your fakeness was the echo of every unanswered prayer I made. I hated the way your fake love stole my quiet faith. You pretended, and I became a ghost haunting memories of truth. I watched you fake, and my heart bled invisible tears. You smiled through lies, while my heart crumbled beneath your quiet deceit. I hated the way your fakeness whispered betrayals my soul couldn't scream. Your false love was a shadow, stealing every spark I held inside. I saw your mask crack, but the truth left me bleeding still. You faked warmth, leaving me frozen in the ruins of what once was. The annoyance inside me burned like a fire you never noticed. You played with my trust like it was a fragile, breakable toy. I hated that your lies wrapped around us like invisible chains. You faked devotion, and I was left chasing echoes of promises. Your empty words were a cold wind that blew through my bones. I watched your act, and my heart learned to whisper goodbyes. You wore your lies like a crown, ruling over my silent pain. I hated how easily you erased the love I fought to keep. Your fake affection was a dagger hidden in the velvet of your smile. I saw the emptiness behind your eyes, a void I once called home. You pretended, and I became a ghost in the story we never wrote. The annoyance was a bitter truth I swallowed but never spoke. Your lies were the cruel lullabies that haunted my restless nights. I hated the distance your fakeness carved into my beating heart. You faked love so well, I forgot how to feel anything real. Your silence was louder than any betrayal I could ever imagine. I watched your false care unravel the fragile threads between us. You smiled, but my soul cracked beneath the weight of your deceit. I hated how your lies turned our love into a battlefield. Your fake touch was a wound that never stopped bleeding inside me. I saw your mask slip, revealing the cold shadow of what you are. You faked passion. I drowned in the ashes of your empty fire. The anger I felt was a prayer unanswered in the silence you left. You wore lies like jewelry, beautiful but toxic to my heart. I hated the way your false words burned deeper than silence ever could. You faked loyalty, and I felt the cold betrayal seep into my bones. I watched your deception bloom like poisonous flowers in my chest. Your fake love was a ghost I couldn't escape no matter how far. I hated that your lies stole. I saw your fakeness as a slow, merciless unraveling of us. You faked care, leaving me screaming inside with silent rage. The annoyance was a spark, igniting a fire my soul refused to forget. Your mask hid the emptiness, swallowing every dream we once shared. I hated how your lies turned my hope into dust beneath my feet. You faked love while I fell quietly into the void of your absence. The anger was a silent scream in the night where no one heard. You pretended, and I became a stranger to my own reflection. Your lies, whispered secrets, my soul fought desperately to forget. I hated the way your fake love erased all traces of truth. You faked devotion while I sank deeper into the shadows of doubt. I watched your lies unravel the fragile tapestry we wove in silence. Your fake touch stole the warmth that once lived in my hands. I hated the ease with which you discarded everything I treasured. You faked passion while my heart bled quietly in your absence. The annoyance was the voice of a soul refusing to let go. You smiled through lies, teaching me how to hide invisible scars. I saw your mask crack, but the truth still wounded me deeply. You faked warmth, and I froze in the ruins of forgotten love. The anger inside me was a fire you never saw burning. You played with my trust like a fragile, breakable toy. I hated that your lies wrapped around us like invisible chain. You faked devotion, and I was left chasing broken promises. Your empty words were a cold wind blowing through my bones. I watched your act, and my heart whispered silent goodbyes. You wore lies like a crown ruling over my quiet pain. I hated how easily you erased the love I fought to keep. Your fake affection was a dagger hidden in the velvet of your smile. I saw the emptiness behind your eyes, a void I once called home. You pretended, and I became a ghost in a story untold. The annoyance was a bitter truth swallowed, but never spoken. Your lies were cruel. Love, these haunting my restless nights. I hated the distance your fakeness carved into my heart. You faked love so well, I forgot how to feel real. Your silence was louder than any betrayal I imagined. I watched your false care unravel fragile threads between us. You smiled, but my soul cracked beneath your deceit. I hated how your lies turned love into a battlefield. Your fake touch was a wound, never stopping bleeding inside. I saw your mask slip, revealing cold shadows of you. You faked passion. I drowned in ashes of your empty fire. The anger was a prayer, unanswered in your silent absence. You wore lies like jewelry, beautiful but toxic to me. I hated how your false words burned deeper than silence.